Hello, love the yoga family around the world. How are you doing? I want to thank you very, 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 very much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to watch this video, because it is something that is very personal to me and comes from a really, really, really deep place in my heart. I would like to invite you to watch this video until the end and then to listen to your own heart to see what is the right thing for you to do. You don't understand why I'm saying any of this, and that is okay, because you will understand when you have watched this video. So without much further ado, I would like to introduce you to a very special family that I met while staying here in Egypt. The man that you see here on the screen, his name is Mostafa, and he is a father of 4 children. He is a very simple man. He didn't have any normal formal education. He built his own house together with his friends and his family out of mud and water and earth. Basically, it's a very simple house, but very cozy as well. And this is the rest of his family, at least his children. So one by one, this is... What's your name?
Mohammed.
So Mohammed is the oldest one, and he doesn't have any fear, as you see here. He is very funny, he is very strong, and he makes a very good pew 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 pew.
What's your name?
Fatma.
Next one up is Fatma. Fatma is not actually Mustafa's daughter. She is the girl that lives next door, but as this was the birthday of one of the children, she was there also. And look, we had a lot of fun.
What's her name?
Farida.
This is Farida. It's Mustafa's youngest daughter. She's so cute. I mean, Jasmine, of course, is the cutest baby in the world, but Farida, oh my God, she got something special as well. Look at her.
And what's your name?
Ahmed.
And what's your name?
Fatma.
Fatma.
So these two, they're in between Farida and Mohammed, and they are together, the most funny. Look how crazy they are. I'll just let the images speak for themselves. And this is the whole family together. Well, they also have a mama, of course, but she really did not want to be on camera. It's a cultural thing in Egypt. But we had a lot of fun, yeah! Well, that seems like a pretty good story, right? 4 kids celebrating somebody's birthday. What's going on here? Well, there's something else underneath the surface that we're not seeing here. Because, as you might know, some countries in the world have been hit a lot harder than other countries during the COVID-19 pandemic. For a country like Egypt, whose main income is tourism, with its temples, with its pyramids, it has been a very difficult time for a lot of people, because as international flights stopped, the tourists stopped coming as well. And if there's no tourists coming, there is no money coming in. And if you look here at this short clip of the main street of the west bank of Luxor, normally during this time it is packed with tourists that are ready to see the ancient ruins and the temples that surround Luxor. But as you see here, it's pretty empty at the moment. And for Mostafa, it has been very difficult to provide for his family. He was my neighbor in Luxor while we were there, and every day we would meet him. And every day he would ask us, of course, if we needed anything, like a taxi or if we wanted to go on a boat ride. And every day we politely declined. And he always remained positive and very respectful. Whereas other Egyptians can be very pushy. If you've ever been to Egypt, you know about this. He accepted. And he would ask us if we needed help for anything else. And at the moment when we really needed help, he was there. Because me, my wife, and Jasmine, we got corona while we were in Luxor, and we didn't feel comfortable going outside. So I decided to call Mostafa and to ask him, hey man, we need food. Can you help out? And he came and he got food for us. And I gave him money, of course, to get the food. And he always gave me all the change. And we had been there for a little while. We knew the prices, and he was not taking anything more than the food cost us. And he really helped us to get through a very difficult period. And when we recovered, just before we were going to leave Luxor, I just want to tell you this, just to give you an idea of how difficult it has been or is for him. I met him, and his big smile and his positivity, they were not there. And he looked very stressed. And he looked very worried. And I asked him what was up. And he said that his youngest daughter, Farida, was sick. And that it was getting worse. And that she really needed to see a doctor. But that he didn't have the money to take his own daughter to a hospital. And this, for me, it broke my heart as a father. I could only imagine how it would feel if Jasmine would be sick and I wouldn't have the money to take her to get the help that she needed. And especially to see her getting worse and to see her suffering. And it broke my heart as a father. And I didn't hesitate. I took out my wallet. I asked him how much he needed. And it was just a small amount, like 50 euros or something. And I gave him the money. And he was so grateful. He was breathing deeply, I could see. And I asked him if he was all right with the amount that I gave him. And he said, this doesn't fix my life, but right at this moment, this helps me so much. And then he told me something that I will never forget. He told me that I brought a smile back on his face. And it was true. He was smiling again. And the next day, I met him and I asked him how he was doing. He looked tired, but more alive. And he said that he had been at the hospital until 1 o'clock last night with Farida. That she received the treatment and the medicine that she needed, and now she was resting. And that she was able to sleep. And he told me that before she had a very difficult time sleeping, waking up all the time. And a week later, Mostafa invited me to Farida's birthday. And the clips that I just showed you, they were from her birthday. And she looked very good. She recovered. She was on her feet again. And I was welcomed into their family as a part of their family. And it was easily the most fun that I've had during my whole time in Egypt. It was fantastic. We partied, we danced, we ate food, they shared whatever they had with me. Later at night, me and Mostafa, we were sitting by the fire together. And for the whole week, I had been feeling very deep in my heart that I wanted to help this family that helped me so much when I really needed it. And the whole week I was thinking, what would happen if I'm not around anymore? The situation at the moment is okay, but what if Farida gets sick again? What if any of his other children get sick? What if something happens? They still don't have a future. And I wanted to give Mostafa a future, and also this feeling of being able to be proud to provide for his family, himself. So I asked him what would change his life, what he would need for this. And he said, there's two things. The first thing is if he would have the money to send his children back to school, because the school had told him that as long as he couldn't pay the money, the children were not allowed to come. And the children had been at home for months and they were not learning anything. And they were not seeing their friends either. And it had been very much pressing on their situation as a family. And of course for Mostafa as well. And the second thing that would really change his life profoundly is if he would have a car of himself, which he doesn't have because he comes from a very poor family. And that way he will be able to offer a ride for tourists to go to the temples. He could be a taxi driver and a tour guide, and he has all the knowledge to explain. He grew up in the area. It will be so much easier for him to provide for his family because now he only makes money by commission. He gets maybe 10% from the amounts that actually the tourists pay if they go on a trip, if they go on a boat ride or in a taxi or whatever. So it will be so much easier if he could take the full cut. So the full amounts to make this happen will be rather substantial. And I cannot just give it myself out of my own pocket. I have my own family to take care of. But then I started to think, what if a lot of people come together and each give just a little bit? That is not much for the individual, but all the different little pieces together would profoundly change the life of this family. And of course, there is the Laughter Yoga family. So I started to think of all of you. And that's why I'm making this video. I would like to invite you to feel for yourself in your hearts if this is something that you want to contribute to. If this is something that you feel you want to be a part of. And if your heart says no, that is totally all right. Then I want to thank you for your time for watching this video. But if you do feel like you want to help, I will be forever grateful. Because it really feels, really feels from deep in my heart that I was put in this situation for a reason. That I have the possibilities, the capabilities to make something happen. Really, that's how it feels. I cannot say anything else. So if you want to be a part of this, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much. And I will post all the details where you can send donations to together with this video. And I really hope, to do this together. So thank you so much for taking your time to watch this. It's not been the shortest video. And I wish you a day full of laughter, smiles, love, and just super beautiful moments. Thank you very much for watching this, and hopefully laugh with you soon. Ciao, ciao.